Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to All Elite Women and Friends. This is my and friends today. This is Mad Dog Kelly.
Hi guys, what's up?
As you can see, the other elite woman is not here because she is in Haiti. True
Yeah,
story.
that's cool. That is cool.
Our cactus Katie is in Haiti.
But she's here in spirit, though. Trust me, especially backstage.
Yeah, she's back there pressing buttons. Trust and believe.
She always is.
We had a specialty show today. We had AEW Spring
Did
BreakThru.
yeah. This is
I'll let you
the
know, New York did not get the memo. It is still cold. Winter and spring is in a custom battle, and winter
yeah,
is winning, all right?
yeah. It's like what 30 degrees out today.
And it
Like
was raining. It's been raining for like a week. Get it
it
together,
was
New
snowing
York.
by me the other day, man.
Oh, you
Sheriff,
jealous.
when my mom was here. She's like, "It's snowing out." I go, "I told you, Ma, it's snowing out." Hi, Jeffrey, how you doing? Like I said, it was snowing here in New Jersey in April. uh,
For that, this was one of the greatest dynamites of all time. This was a
I
really good
agree. I
dynamite.
agree. This was a great show. You know what it was missing, and I'll get into it a little bit later in my news segment. Chris Jericho. And you guys
I
knew
knew
that
you were
was
going to say
coming.
that.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
33
you had to cover the
anniversary,
show, and
baby.
there's no Jericho for you to
I
cover.
did listen to
But
his
you know
podcast
what?
today.
You know what? Don't fret, Mad Dog, because I got something better for you. I got the CEO. She opened the show. She opened the show versus Athena. All right.
She
This is in
did.
her hometown of Boston. She
Man,
came
they
out and
were
she got
going
cheers, right?
crazy. They were going crazy for our CEO, baby. They were going nuts.
This was actually, because this
They-
was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most. Chris is on high as yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's.
And so
Oh yeah.
this was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most in the tournament. And so we got the Fallen Goddess Athena. She is Ring of Honor Women's Champion, longest reigning. She's having
With the spinner belt, if I may add, the other person with the spinner belt in the AEW, by the way, ladies and
To be
gentlemen.
honest, even though I think the spinner belt gimmick got worn to shreds by the Cena, that belt should have been retired after he.
Hey, don't forget, they just brought that back in WWE.
It's ridiculous. I don't know why. And I used to think it was cool as a kid, but times change. But this was a tough back and forth match.
Cody Rhodes? No, they haven't. They brought that thing back.
Cody should have like a. Well, I think he has like the American flag. Like
he does. Yeah,
he does. But
Mercedes,
she had a bit of a mean streak in this match. This was a very like
here it is,
emotionally charged match. Like there were times they just didn't care about the rules. Like they were outside the ring beating each other up, and the ref was like, "Y'all can't win out there. Like, what are you doing?" And then like she like hung her over the side of the ring apron and was like doing CEO over her. This was a foreshadow to their future.
On it. Every time she did the dance, they were just chanting it like to the.
They were chanting for Athena too, though. It was
a good pop.
I'm saying she can't get all the love. It's never unanimous.
I agree. She got a great pop tonight too. I think she's very over, and if anybody's going to take that belt off of Mercedes, and I know our executive consultant probably would disagree with me, but it's going to have to happen eventually. She can't be 5 belt banks. That's just ridiculous.
She's going to lose the title to Athena. That's my guess.
Absolutely.
They should have said it for the pay-per-view. Oh, they will. They will face
double or nothing. Double or nothing.
You can tell by the way this match went.
Double or nothing. It's
not going to be their first match. It's going to be double or nothing. They're going to double up, and they're gonna face each other.
The question is, Sheriff, what will the stipulation be? A lot of these have stipulation match for title. Jericho, I listened to his podcast.
You know what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be because Mercedes is the belt collector, right? She's going to want that Ring of Honor belt. I'll put my title on the line if you put yours on the line. That's
okay. Yeah. Just like they did with Chris Jericho. By the way, I listened to his podcast.
If they do title for title, and then Mercedes
title for mask match, that's what they did.
And then she just has all the titles. A good idea. I don't know how I'll be real with you. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. And I love I love the CEO. But listen, come on.
Right.
CEO, so absolutely not.
And
Especially had she won by roll up. Yeah. That's absolutely not.
but
That's
Athena got some great moves in here too. I just want to add this to this match. Athena got some great moves in. You know what I mean? That like it was very heavy Mercedes, but Athena got some really good jobs in there too. It was a great
it was
match.
very heavy
Start the show.
Mercedes.
I
But
mean, it's because she's in Boston and Tony Khan's paying her millions, Sheriff, to
she's the
literally,
boss from Boston.
go out there and win.
You don't think
everything.
Athena's making millions?
I mean, not as much as Sasha
Probably
Banks.
not.
I mean, goddamn. I mean, he put what the rumor was around 25 million, and that's
Well, okay?
rumored
Can we just be for real? Does that even sound true?
Yeah.
It does not.
Yeah.
They're not making. She's not making 25 million. Do you know that
Yes, she
AEW
is.
just
Yeah, she
re-signed
is.
for 170 million over what 5 years? That would be like what? That would be like 16% of their entire.
Well, John Moxley got a new deal that's very lucrative. That they said might even be more than
Let's be
Mercedes.
real.
We're talking
AEW is a
60
private
million
company.
for
We don't know how
5.
much these people are making.
These are just rumored numbers from the Forbes list.
25 million sound crazy. Like who, bro?
That's
Dave
what I've
Wilson
heard.
was just throwing numbers at the wall or whatever. Anyways, speaking of the Bucks, we got the
Weren't they
Bucks.
great tonight? Yeah, they were great. They came out during the main event. We'll get to them later, but weren't they fantastic? One of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Put some
I'm gonna keep
respect on the
saying
Bucks.
it.
I agree.
Everyone else, I know a lot of people, don't like them, but they are great. Love the Young Bucks. Shout out to them. Obviously, the best EVPs.
I don't know about the greatest tag team of all time,
One
but they are one of the most.
them.
They are
One
one of the
of
most
them.
impactful.
Not the
I'll tell you, they're
greatest
one of
of
the
all
most
time.
impactful.
I think that's the Usos, but one of them.
I don't think you have the current wrestling landscape of today without the Young Bucks. Well, without all of the elite, but including the Young Bucks.
You're right. I mean, look, Bullet Club, right? Bullet Club was Young Bucks. Kenny Omega, Finn Balor was even in the damn Bullet Club.
Yeah, but the elite is supposed to be the elite of the Bullet Club.
Well,
so
guess
even
who
like
was in the elite? Your WWE champion, Cody freaking Rhodes. He was in the elite at one point.
He was part of the elite.
He made this company we're talking about tonight.
Hey, that's another. We'll get to this on the news segment, but WWE's about to be all ex AEW. Your champion was. You know what? Let's not get to it. Anyway, Hangman Page, and the Young Bucks. Hangman was doing a bit of an interview when the Young Bucks decided to barge in with Okada. They reminded him of how he
another CEO type.
Because he
Yes.
Well, the Rainmaker needs to stop making it rain in New York City.
Did that to another one. And Starbucks also did that with Mercedes once. I
guess that's spring
time.
But so basically, they reminded Hangman of how he walked out on them. That was blood and guts last year.
Yeah.
They have a bit of a strained friendship, but he's like, we call Swerve the title. You hate Swerve. This is a bit of an olive branch. You should be happy. And he's like, we have a common enemy too, the Death Riders. Well, not common enemy. They have common interest with the Death Riders, right?
Yeah,
the Bucks want to work with the Death Riders, and they want Hangman Page to kind of help them get the Death Riders on board. Because even though they did help the Death Riders, Moxley and his crew were kind of like, no, we're not fucking with you. Kind of like how Hurt Syndicate is not fucking with MJF. So, and so they're like, think about it. And then Hangman, he's always got his stash, and he's always like this, and he's always mad. So Okada's like, why don't you smile a bit? And then he doesn't smile. So Okada's like, bitch. And then, Hangman's like, what did you say to me? He's like, no, I didn't say anything.
They're setting it up. Right? They're setting up a match between those two, a double or nothing. You can just see the writing on the wall right now and isn't Okada still a champion somewhere? Maybe he lost his belt, but I thought he was some sort of champion. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't even remember. Can't keep up. Just they added a new champion the other day. Our technician, David Saracen, said they're adding another belt. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they add another belt. So I can't keep track of the belts, but last time I checked, he was a champion. And if that's the case, then maybe they'll give Adam Page that championship.
He was.
Okay. He was champion.
It was the Continental Championship.
Okay. Yeah. That. Oh God, who has that now? Kenny Omega, right? Yeah, Kenny Omega has that now. Because they
Yeah,
they rebranded that championship, the Continental. Now
the
it's
thing
the
about I didn't
National, right?
care. I didn't care.
Whatever it is.
It's Omega has it. I didn't care for his run. To be honest, I think they kind of fumbled it.
Right.
I think Okada's really cool. Loves the B word. Okada loves the B word. He does.
He
Um,
does what
but
he
I think
wants.
I wouldn't rule out him getting another title in the future. But he had that one title, and then yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if anybody likes hockey. We got a Stanley Cup winner.
Woo! I don't
Last
have that
name
here
Rask.
in the thing, but woo!
Well, later on in the show, they showed Kristaps Porzingis, who used to be a New York Knick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he requested a trade from us. The gall, the audacity.
I'm a fan of the Knicks, so yeah.
Oh, you are? See,
Yeah,
there we go. You
I
share
am.
my
I
pain.
am.
But it was nice, I
I
guess, to
do.
see him here. But there were some sports celebrities in the crowd.
Well, you know what it is? They're trying to get, and I'll just explain this real fast for everybody. They're trying to get more eyes on this. This is why they brought the Costco guy in and his son, because his son's huge on TikTok, right? They're trying to bring the casual eyes to AEW, and I believe it's working so far, getting all the sports tie-ins, and which is all Warner Brothers at the top, obviously, but at the same time, it's also trying to bring the casual in. It's the same thing with WWE, with them trying to bring Travis Scott to WrestleMania this weekend. So
Real ones remember when Snooki was in a match at WrestleMania. Good times, I guess. Anyways, speaking of Hangman Page, he competed in the
against
semifinals,
the
right?
wild card.
Against the wild card, right? So, who was this year's wild card for the Owen Hart tournament? Well, it's something that our resident news guy, Mad Dog Kelly, actually told us was probably going to happen. Josh Alexander is all elite.
Yes.
Dun 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 dun.
I
Headgear and all.
love it.
He is all elite.
So good.
He's
Look
also
at
a
the
loser.
picture.
He
It looks
lost.
ridiculous in this picture. Just saying, he looks ridiculous.
He looks jacked, though.
He
I'll tell you
does.
that
He does.
much.
It looks in great shape, but it looks ridiculous. But he comes from TNA, and man, I was so happy when I saw that. Oh my god!
Are you a Josh Alexander fan?
I jumped out of my seat. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I was right." It's crazy.
And I guess he wears the headgear because he got cauliflower ear. That's dang. But and I say he lost, but this was actually a pretty back and forth match. They had a good match. Don't get me wrong. But for your debut match, you kind of lose. Well, actually, I guess it's not super bad because he did.
You lost to Hangman Adam Page. He's
Yeah,
one
he
of the
lost to
biggest
Hangman Adam
guys
Page,
on the
and he
roster.
did get some comeuppance because after the match, Fletcher came out with Don Callis. As you do, the Don Callis family.
What was that
Hangman
about?
was able to kind of fight off Fletcher, but then Josh Alexander spoke a little bit to Don Callis and then went in and took out, Hangman. So maybe he's going to join the family or align with the family, maybe not join. They apparently have some history, so I guess we'll see. But what say you, Mad Dog?
This whole thing, Don Callis. The match was great, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with you, Fernando. The match was phenomenal for a match, and I'm glad Hangman Adam Page gave some to Josh Alexander. This wasn't all Hangman. Josh Alexander got some great moves in here. I was really happy. But yeah, after the match of the Don Callis stuff. Oh, what a snake he is trying to recruit Josh. He's trying to recruit everybody on the roster, and you can see it. And
he's trying to recruit you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing what Don Callis and the family are doing right now. It's amazing stuff. I want him more on commentary, by the way. We'll get into that later in the night.
Speaking of family, Daddy's home. Okay. We got the patriarchy in a promo, right? Nick Wayne, he's speaking, and then we pan the camera over to Christian, who is now returning. The father is back of the patriarchy, and he confronts Nick Wayne because he's like, you said that you knew why that I, didn't stick to the plan, and I kind of screwed over Adam Copeland. Why do you think that I did that? And Nick Wayne is like, well, you did that because you couldn't stand to see Copeland win the world title before you.
Right.
And he's like, well, first of all, that's just like your opinion, man. But second of all, let's talk about you because I signed you up for the Super Juniors tournament in Japan. And to get you ready, I'm going to have you in a number of matches, namely a match on Collision for the Ring of Honor television title against Commander.
Collision.
We will be watching that.
We will be reviewing that tomorrow night,
10:15.
Tomorrow. 10:15, we'll be reviewing that. Trust me, I'm excited. Hey, man, you know what it takes, Sheriff, to be New Japan? I was listening, as you know, the Learning Tree University podcast. Chalk is Jericho. Kevin Knight was on the show this week. What it takes to be a New Japan pro wrestler is insane. 500 squats a day, okay, and 1,000 push-ups a day training before you even get into the ring with New Japan. Yes, that's what's required at 3 or 4 in the morning. Crazy.
Are you telling you want a family to break up? You want to break up a happy home? I can't believe
it's looking that way. It's looking that way.
I can't believe they can work it out.
I agree with Fernando. It is great.
Yeah, Mad Dog. Can you do that?
I don't know. Okay, Christian Cage. He saw one of my tweets one time and got mad at me, so I don't know. Okay.
Well, he means can you do what they make the trainees do in Japan?
Can I do that? Hell no. No way.
You're not a young lion?
5,000 squat, 500 squats? No.
Well, actually, how about this? I know there's something that you can do, and that's run a commercial.
I will do that in a second.
We'll be right back because we're at a bit of a. This was not a short show, but all of the segments and matches were pretty. They gave them a lot of time to really flesh everything out. So we're kind of a little bit at the midpoint. So we'll run a commercial and we'll be right back.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Lyra got an okie doke pin on Bayley. Where are we going with this, EC? Where are we going with Lyra and Bayley?
They're going to have a heated feud after WrestleMania.
You don't think that they're gonna lead to like some match Raw after WrestleMania, the SmackDown before? I need Lyra to lose this belt. Like, can it happen as soon as possible?
Lyra's been a better Intercontinental champion than Chelsea Green's United States champion.
Of course. I agree with that.
Hear me out. Chelsea has been a more entertaining United States champion. I will give her that. A much more entertaining one. But as far as in-ring action and talent and defending that championship, Lyra has a beat by far. Lyra's had at least 3 different opponents for that championship, when Chelsea Green's only pretty much defended against, what's her name? Me.
You don't even know!
Me. Exactly my point. Because I'm telling you, Lyra's Intercontinental Championship run is better.
I agree with you. I agree with you because Chelsea Green having the the U.S. belt makes it a gimmick title. It doesn't even make it like really true valid as a championship. It's almost like the Divas title, if you ask me.
Nah, you guys are bugging. Chelsea Green.
Now,
you guys are bugging.
Do I like where Chelsea has came from? And to being relevant and on TV, and she got fans behind her. Like I said, they announced her on Delta Airlines being the first U.S. women's champion before she even got the belt, so we knew she was gonna get it. But like I said, it's just more of a gimmick title run for her. Nobody expected her to have it, and then how many times she did defend it? Twice, and it's been against Michelle Young or Keith Lee White, whatever her name is, Gail Kim.
Michelle Kim.
Okay, or Gail Kim or whatever. Milan, ain't that her name? Milan?
Of course.
No, what? I'm sorry.
That is the Rated R Review Show. You can catch them on Mondays reviewing Raw. You can see Big Daddy Cool. That's Steve. You can see the executive consultant, and you can see Steeman Willie Beeman. And you can see this comment here. You do realize that John Cena lost his debut match. Actually, you know what? I'll do you one better. Your current WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, lost his debut match. But only in AEW.
But who was that to, Sheriff? Once again, who did he lose to?
Who? Which one?
Cody Rhodes. Who did he lose to?
Is Randy? Wasn't it Randy? Who did he lose? He lost his debut match. I think it was Randy.
He did, to Seth freaking Rollins, one of the biggest players in the game.
Wait, no.
WrestleMania.
I'm talking about when he debuted in WWE.
Oh, what? You mean back in like the old days?
Yeah, well, the old days.
when he was
But yeah,
Stardust.
like when
Oh
he
yeah,
first
yeah. I
got it.
think it was
Yeah.
it was like Randy Orton or somebody. Yeah,
Didn't he beat Seth at
I think he
Mania?
did actually. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
beat Seth. When he
That would have
came
been
back.
no.
Yeah.
If they would have let Seth beat him after coming back, that would have been crazy. That
He
would have
didn't
been
lose
something
though.
else.
He did. He did end up losing to. Was it? He did take a loss. I forget. Was it to who it was to?
Okay,
But
Seth. I'll see you here I'll
no.
see you here in a month. You're expecting
I
him to
mean,
lose to
yeah.
Josh
You know what? What
Alexander
if he? That's crazy. What if he does pack his bags and go to WWE? Right? I mean, he just signs with AEW, and then he's like, I'm gonna go make big money like everyone else is doing.
Cena was
So
a rookie. I thought
he
you said
was.
that
He was.
people.
He was. And
I
now
thought
he's
that
main
people
event in
only. I
WrestleMania.
thought people only lose debut matches in AEW. As far as AEW is concerned, Josh Alexander is a rookie. He's a rookie to me. I'll be honest with you. I don't watch TNA, so you're a rookie to me. You got to prove yourself.
It all depends on debut match, right? I mean, not everybody loses in their debut match. Mercedes Moné actually won her debut match, believe it or not. I think it was at Revolution. I believe they did it in Boston, Massachusetts. I believe it was. So yeah.
Did WWE pass on him, or did he choose?
Yes, they did. Josh Alexander, 100%.
You were there? He's like, yeah, they did.
I've been reading it, Sheriff, since February, so yeah, I mean, I kind of know the inside scoop on the story. Yeah,
okay, share the inside scoop when we get to the news.
Like I said, they passed.
We could have had Josh and Ethan Page reunite as a team. Oh yeah, wait. For some reason I knew that they used to team together. For some reason I knew that.
It could have happened, but the thing is, they just got Ricky. They just got Ethan. They just got Paige. They just
they don't care. They're still ready to sign more ex-AEW guys.
I don't even know how many more they got. And then there's a rumor about somebody else might be jumping ship soon. So
we'll get to that. Well, you know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get to that on the news. Let's talk a little bit more about Dynamite. We did get more, I guess, a recap for Collision because FTR did turn on Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, of course, just lost the TNT title, but to Adam Cole. But he's still
Adam Cole Bay.
Oh, sorry. Adam Cole Bay, right? Yeah. And so, or I guess I should do this. Boom. But
yes.
So I think he's still like he's babyface still.
Right.
I think he's gonna still be, I guess, around the main event picture on TNT. Even though he just lost the title.
Absolutely. It seems like with the whole Garcia thing, I'd be in the Collision guy over here. It seems like they want to put him in the main event story. So, and then it looks like Adam Cole's going to kind of be the savior, kind of save the day. And I don't know how Garcia is going to feel about that because, he just lost his championship to Adam Cole. So, it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll probably see more of that on Collision tomorrow. But we did get a tag title defense. The Hurt Syndicate defended their tag titles.
How about these guys?
Agony, yes. There was a lot of agony going on. Not enough, though, for them to win the titles.
There we go.
They look
ridiculous. Why are they still in those freaking hats? I want to bring this shit up. I really do. I'm sorry.
Because
I know we review, but these hats look freaking ridiculous. Z and I even said it on our Collision show. Go check one of our first 2 episodes, whatever it was. These hats, it was our prediction show for, I think it was Revolution. Go check that out. Your hats look so stupid on the Hurt Syndicate. Big Bobby Lashley. So these guys do not need the hats. Okay,
listen, they're both bald. What do you want them to do?
Bald Syndicate. We've been over this. Do it. Book it.
Bald people.
It's a hashtag.
They
agrees with me. Go watch the commercial.
Well, these bald guys, they did their thing. They defended the titles.
NXT Trio ran that last night. They ran the Bald Syndicate commercial, and it was pretty funny. They ran that. We have a commercial about the Bald Syndicate. Z and
did they? Gosh. Wait, who's in that? Who said that?
That's myself and Z. Z was the one who.
Oh, that's you and Z.
That was from our, I think, prediction show for Revolution.
Oh, that was on prediction show.
Yeah.
Hashtag Bald Syndicate.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. Absolutely.
I would
gonna
Kelly,
be
the
really
hats
happy.
look stupid. Listen, when
Thank
you
you.
go to an
Thank
AEW show
you.
and you see them hats in the merchandise
I
stands, they're just
have
sold
one of the
out.
hats, but they're not gold like that. I wish I had it here. Actually, I do have
Oh,
it
you
here.
bought one? It wasn't gold?
Yeah, here. Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this live.
Stand by.
Here we go. This shows up. This is a flex
I
fit,
talked about
ladies
it
and
last
gentlemen.
week, too.
I am back with my
Oh,
AEW
you have an
hat.
AEW
I got
hat.
this at Dynamite a couple years ago. So there you go. We'll wear this rest of the show.
I love that.
There you go.
But that Hurt Syndicate hat is nice. Be real. Even though it may look stupid on them, that's a nice hat.
No.
But I like that AEW
the
hat.
gold. This one is a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I hope you don't get copyright.
You're swagging, bro. Going to make Mariah.
I got the merch.
Mariah's already a star.
And
that's why they want her.
If she goes. Right now, she's still signed AEW.
Oh my goodness, we're so getting ahead of ourselves. But listen, Tiffany
people
Stratton,
are bringing it up.
Tiffany Stratton,
what they're reading, Sheriff.
The clock is ticking, Tiffany. Okay, when/if Mariah makes the jump, it is over for you. Not because you're not talented.
No. It was already over for her when Charlotte Flair roasted her ass a couple weeks ago. Okay,
yeah, she had to go off script and take a personal.
Charlotte's still winning that title, ladies and gentlemen.
Mariah is the better version of you, and it's. Listen, if you have someone whose gimmick, two people whose gimmicks are so closely linked,
I don't think
one will always overshadow the other.
I don't think Tony's giving her up. I really don't.
Well, it's not up to him. She's gonna decide where she wants to go. But the blonde Barbies, yeah, I believe Mariah as a competitor more than I do Tiffany. Anyways, speaking of believing in a competitor, this segue makes no sense, but we're gonna use it anyway. Maxwell Jacob Friedman comes out.
MJF.
Better than you, the salt of the earth. He comes out to congratulate the Hurt Syndicate. He's like, he still wants to be a part of the syndicate. He still wants to align himself with the people who hurt people. And so as a way to kind of give them what they want, so he can get what he wants, which is 3 thumbs up, approval to join the syndicate. He brings out a gaggle of women. Now, the Godfather needs to sue for gimmick infringement because the whole train was in Boston, all right, coming through, following MJF, all right? And so he's like, this could all be yours. All of these lovely ladies of the night could be yours if you just give me 3 thumbs up. Shelton was, he's like, I need more time, as in a timepiece. He wanted the watch off of MJF's wrist. And MJF's like, sure, I'll give you the watch. He gave him the watch, and then Shelton still said no. And Bobby Lashley, he was not impressed. He was not impressed by the girls. He wasn't impressed by the watch.
You know what's hilarious, Sheriff? I want to jump in here. They used to do this. And when I mean they, the Hurt Syndicate used to do this in the E. We're going to go there for a minute because we have to. During the pandemic era, once upon a time, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley was champion. I know, crazy, right? In WWE. One of the greatest, by the way, not going to lie, great run, obviously. And I'm not going to dispute that. But what did he do? The MVP threw Lashley, Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin parties with lavish women all over, and they all loved it. So the fact that they did this was a nod to that. Obviously, if you didn't get the reference, I'm sure I know you don't, share because I know you don't watch WWE like I do on the regular, but this was a reference to that, obviously. And if it wasn't, then call me crazy, and Tony Khan, like I said, crazy guy. But I think this was so a reference, obviously.
That's a good point, Seth.
That is true. What? That is very true.
Noticing.
And WWE did that, by the way. They did both. They had women both races.
Shelton was yeah. Shelton was actually I think that to your point, Maddog, I think DX used to do that too. They
did actually, yeah. And then the MVP did that during the pandemic. They used to throw these parties. You can go back and watch the segments. It's all on YouTube there. They were really funny segments. It was like called the Hurt Business Time or something. It was something. It was like
We
her business
we got a
lounge is
little bit of a
amazing.
segment like
MVP
that
lounge.
later
That's what it
on
was. The MVP
in the
lounge.
night.
That's it. MVP lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bit of a segment like that, like after because they went to commercial break after this. Well, basically, MJF let them keep the watch and the girls, and he was just like, think about it. Once you let me in, there's more where that came from. And then, they were in the parking lot, and Bobby's like, yeah, I just don't, he's annoying. I don't like MJF. And then he's like, this is business, right? And then when it comes to business, MJF is good for business. We should keep him around. But as of right now, let's just focus on the fact that he gifted us these wonderful ladies, and so let's celebrate and this wonderful watch. So we'll see. Maybe MJF will.
I just don't feel it. Yeah, I feel like Ced's gonna sign with AEW because he got released from the E and no one's looking to pick him up at the moment. I feel like Cedric Alexander is going to sign, as much as I know a lot of
with
people
AEW.
are saying, yeah. I see it. I see it happening.
Here's the thing.
And then there's your reunion. There's your third member.
Because he's married to Big Swole, right?
Right.
I don't know if they patch things up behind the scenes, but it would be weird for him to just sign with the company after the way that happened.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But
and so, like, if you're not going to stand on business, then what was the point of you even like going out like that? But watch WWE, it'll make you happy. I did watch WWE, as most wrestling fans started, and it did not.
Great. It's great.
It did in the beginning, but I was like, I'm not about to stick around for this foolishness.
I don't blame you. I'm not too happy about the John Cena Cody match neither.
Well, actually, in full transparency, I stopped watching because they went to Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia executed a journalist, and they sent JBL on TV to do propaganda cleanup. And that was a bit too much for me. So I said, peace out to the blood money. That was too much. Treated his wife bad. I doubt he signs.
That's very, very true. Yep. I mean, but then again, though, money talks.
It does, but does it talk louder than your wife saying the company is racist?
No, I guess you have a point there.
Well, if it does, that would just tell me a lot about
who Tony Khan is as a person, and I agree with you about that.
No, it would tell me a lot about Josh. Why would you want to? Anyways. Well, actually, you know what? People got to make a living, but I'm not Booker T. You're not gonna pay me money to call me a nigger to my face. Let's not dig there. Anyways, we got Will Ospreay versus Takeshita. This is also Owen Hart semifinals. I believe that the winner of this is going to face Hangman. Right? And so the winner of this was Will Ospreay. But it was a hard fought match. It was a back and forth match. This was the longest match of the night. And this is probably why the show went so overtime, because I would have thought this was the main event if I didn't know any better, because of how long this match went and like how back and forth it was. But this is obviously a great bout. Both are very good. No blood money for Sheriff. Thank you. Great Sheriff. Yeah. Even though I don't fault people who still want to watch the show. That was just my own personal thing. I was like, and also I was like, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to. So there's no point for me to even stick around with this. But do you have any words on the Ospreay match?
Oh my God, let's bring that up. What a freaking match these two guys. This was a banger. Absolute classic of a match. Don't you agree? I'm going to be the AEW market, as I always am, for a minute here. What a great fucking match this was. It was back. It was forth. There was this. We're going a little bit into our collision, our review show. But that's it. That's okay. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see after after we're done here. Anyway, like I said, this was a great match. It was back. It was forth. It was one way.
I got a question for you. Right. Does Hangman beat Ospreay?
No. Will Ospreay's winning the whole damn thing.
I agree with you.
Will Ospreay's he's becoming the next world champion.
Actually, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're doing predictions. When really we could be doing something else. Do you know what else we could be doing?
You tell me.
We could be doing the news.
Oh, you want to do that now? Okay, let me see.
Because we're about to go into the main event.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it then. Here we go. I'm going to run it. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Well, as you all know, I'm here, so I don't have to say that. But there is a lot to say about what's going on in the professional wrestling world. We've been talking about it all goddamn show. And the reason why we've been talking about all goddamn show is because the biggest story of today is Mariah May going to WWE or not? Now, I can confirm to everybody she's not right now. Okay, everyone needs to stop the hype train. Tiffany's on the clock, blah, blah, blah. I've seen this shit all day. And
sounds to me like Mariah May is a star, and everybody wants to know where she's going.
Here's the scoop. Okay, a couple of sources say it ain't happening. PW Insider said she still got somewhat on her contract. Now, what does somewhat mean? Somewhat means she can have a month on the contract. Some people say she can have 2 months on the contract, but what they indicated was it's a while before she can end up signing with WWE. But this is very interesting. I'm going off book here. I might not be too happy, but that's okay. I'll take the heat after the show. Anyway, right. Besides that, though, Nick Khan, president of WWE, today said we'll take any AEW superstar, no matter who it is, because we want them to be used. We want them to be put on the roster and actually be in matches. That's what he said earlier today on a podcast. Man. So I mean, that's crazy, man. Let's just get this off right now. That's nuts. Okay, you got the guys from WWE saying, let's bring them all over. You got everybody saying Mariah May's going to jump the ship when she's not. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Fernando. There's 2 cons, and there's actually Tony's father, I believe, as well. So there's 3 of them in the picture. So you got to be a little more specific on which con you're talking about, because there's 3 of them. There's Tony Khan's father, there's Tony Khan, and then there's Nick Khan, the president of the E. But this whole story, man, this story is wild. This is nuts. I don't even know where these virtues even got this today, man.
Y'all Fed fans, y'all want Mariah so bad.
But anyway, so what I have here, too, I'm just going to bring this up, is PW Insider said there was a point with Tony Storm ended where Mariah May requested her release. I agree with that Fernando, by the way. Requested her release from AEW, but they couldn't confirm it's accurate. Meanwhile, WWE, like I said earlier, they're kind of playing
hold on a second. Who said Mariah requested her release?
PW Insider.
PW Insider, no, absolutely not. That don't even sound true. I'm putting that in the bin with the $25 million that Mercedes was making. Of all the things that didn't happen, that didn't happen.
By the way, they're one of the most legit sources.
Legit source these nuts. That is of all the things that did not happen. That did not happen the most. By the way, this storyline is something that was pitched to her. She specifically said that she signed because AEW presented this storyline to her, and it was brilliant. They had this storyline planned from the beginning. Yeah, it's not like, oh, the story it ended now because she requested her release. It was always supposed to end. Like, what are we talking?
That's what they have here, though. So everybody
easy to punch down when you're number one. I mean,
that
is true, though.
I mean,
look, and no one's gonna catch up to WWE.
AEW for being the longest rated network, whatever it is, on the Turner Broadcasting Channel. I believe. 200 in that 89th episode of Dynamite. So congrats to that.
But, y'all are telling me Eric Bischoff knows better. Tell me what. Never mind.
He congratulated to them this afternoon, but then a tweet saying, but he says it doesn't mean anything. He did. He said congratulations, but he said the congratulations means nothing. So, ooh. You know,
anyways, was that
more tension between those two. They hate each other, by the way. You know. Anyway, and he's under a Legends contract now, which makes it even more interesting. Anyway, so according to this here, Alexa Bliss has been off television for a while. And it is tied to the Bo Dallas injury. Bo Dallas actually got injured a while back. And now Alexa Bliss has been off the air due to that. They were going to tie her into the Wyatt Six whole thing.
Okay. Six, I was about to say, what does that have to do?
No, yeah, the same thing. So,
didn't Alexa Bliss just come back at the Rumble?
She did. Yeah, she did. She did. And then after that, they actually decided not to use her because they wanted to hear the Wyatt
Nick Khan just say they would never have someone on the bench? That's interesting.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. You know, it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I agree. Anyway, so I agree. I agree. Oh, look who we have.
Believe you. You're rude. How dare you just intrude like this?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the executive consultant himself.
This is tyranny.
This honor.
This is tyranny.
This is honor.
This is like honor. Live from Vegas. I had to say something and make an appearance, even on the Whackness show. But you know, it's good to be here. You know, Sheriff was supposed to be here, but she faked. So yeah, it's good. I think you're supposed to be here, but you faked.
Oh yeah,
I'm in Vegas now. What do you mean?
Did you see the prices they were talking about to fly from New York? It was bullshit.
Did I see what?
I said the prices to fly from New York. It was bullshit.
That's what happens when you try to fly out 1 week before you're supposed to fly out. The prices are bullshit.
I have no rebuttal. You're not wrong.
All right. Anyway, I just want to say hi. I'm going back off. But yeah, what's up, peeps? What's up, peeps?
Okay, yeah.
Your Honor,
the executive consultant.
I plead oopsie daisies.
I wanted to show up, so it was good to hear from him. Okay, so going back to what I have here, AEW Grand Slam, Mexico, to take place in the historic arena in Mexico on June 18th. Tickets go on sale for AEW Grand Slam Mexico on Saturday, April 26th at 10 a.m. local time. AEW tickets and Ticketmaster. The special episode will air on Dynamite Live on TBS, Fox Sports Mexico, and stream on Max. So AEW is going to Mexico.
Pretty.
Just like as a rumor, I said a couple weeks ago about WWE possibly doing a show in Mexico too later this year.
Mexico. Oh wait, is the show gonna be tariffed? Fuck.
I don't know. That I don't know. I'm no. I don't know. I'm
kidding.
That's my brother's.
Well, actually,
that's my brother's pay
but the way
okay?
things are going, am I kidding? But keep going.
I don't know. Like I said, but like that's my brother's pay grade. He's an economist or whatever, so he knows all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, he is. He's going to school for economy and bank. He wants to work for the Fed one day, so yeah. Nick Aldis,
by the way, guys, not the WWE.
Yeah, no, not that one. Oh my God, that's right. There's two of them. Anyway, Nick Aldis, by the way, is the favorite to replace Kevin Owens for Randy Orton's match this weekend.
He's gonna wrestle.
It's
finally.
That's what. Remember, this is the favorite on Bet Online. Says he's the favorite.
Okay, it's about. I was wondering why they didn't have him wrestling yet.
I don't know if he was cleared. Then a while back, I reported on this show he was cleared. So
yeah, but I guess this was a good way to get him involved. You know. Don't sleep on Magnus. Yeah, I'm still calling him Magnus. Don't sleep on Mickey James' husband. Okay.
But yes, so I'm excited for this. The other ones they have here is Ludwig Kaiser and Aleister Black. Aleister Black might be showing up, even though everyone's telling me it's never gonna happen. Is he gonna
be the wild card? Yeah.
I don't know. Now, Josh Alexander was a wild card, so I thought it was gonna be Jungle Boy. I'm really upset. It wasn't Jack freaking Perry? I want him back so bad. Anyway, I don't know where he is, but wherever he is,
he's
I want
on
him
Mount
back.
Everest with Darby. Okay,
is he? I didn't know that. Wow. Okay, I didn't know they had such a special connection together. I thought they didn't like each other. So, from what I understood,
they're racing. They're racing to the top.
All right, so this one kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Sources indicate that neither Sting nor WWE contacted Tony Khan about the whole thing with Lex Luger and the Hall of Fame on Friday. Okay,
so they just didn't
this
ask.
like a broken record for weeks. Okay, it was supposed to be who was supposed to be the bigger man, who was not supposed to be the bigger man in this whole thing. Honestly, nobody asked anybody for anything. It was just a request that Lex wanted, and now I believe it's just going to be Diamond Dallas Page. And from what I've heard, that's it. That's all I know. It's going to be Diamond Dallas.
Wait, so they didn't even ask Tony Khan,
right?
So then they didn't get. So then, that's their fault. They just didn't. Because I'm not gonna call you and be like, take Sting.
But
You're
then
supposed
again,
to call
would
me.
Tony let him do it? That's the real question, honey. Because
I don't know that he would let them, even if they did ask. But it just seems like they didn't want to give him the opportunity to tell them no.
I think I agree. It goes both ways, ladies and gentlemen. It goes both ways. It takes two to tango, as they always say, right? In this situation, WWE is responsible.
If I'm Tony,
and AEW,
I don't know about that. So you know what? It's good you didn't ask me, because I would have told you no. So the reality would have been the reality regardless. I want to Sting, but DDP has been working with Luger.
I agree. I agree.
He's doing the yoga with him, right?
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
I think DDP was working with Britt Baker too. She was shredded.
Yeah.
Wow.
The next story, you're gonna love. You're gonna love it because I love it, and I love. Guess who we're talking about?
Chris Jericho.
Podcast earlier. They had Kevin Knight on, like I was saying earlier in our show. Chris Jericho, the Ocho de Nueve,
the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
By the way, real quick, is going to be taking some time off AEW. He originally left most Wednesday dates open for upcoming on his Fozzy tour in order to work the Dynamite tapings. However, he feels it's the right time for him to take a break. There's no time for him to be back until about surprise return. Multiple outlets.
Wait a minute, Mad Dog.
Yeah.
You like this news?
I am okay with it because I still hear his podcast every single week.
So it's like he's not even gone. Gotcha.
For me, absolutely not. No. I just wish he would
do you listen to Fozzy? Besides
I do.
Judas. Besides Judas.
I do.
They have a song called Sandpaper that I like.
They do.
Not really.
I like Insane of theirs, and I also like I think it was on their Judas album, they have Drinking with Jesus. That's another good one of theirs. And then they have another one. I think it's called No Enemy of Mine or something like that. Or No Enemy. It was a very good song. It's an old song. It's like 2002 or 2003. He did that song with Fozzy. It's a great song. It's an old song. I forget the name of it now, but that is really, really good song. Some of his older stuff is really, really good, Fozzy. You listen to it. But yes, I've been a fan of them for years. I've never saw them live. I want to. I wish he would tour here, but they haven't yet. So.
You should have went to the cruise, the Jericho cruise.
I wanted to, but it's so much money, man.
It was expensive. I'm
saving up for SummerSlam. Y'all think WrestleMania cost a fortune. I think SummerSlam is going to cost a fortune here because it's in the New Jersey, New York area. So I'm saving up for that, obviously. But yes, so Jericho take time off, and that's all I have for this week. Yeah.
Thank you, Mad Dog. Yeah, so we have the main event now.
Let me get it up here for everybody while you go ahead and talk about it.
So the trio titles was on the line here. And this match was interesting because, as you can see, there are some changes due to injuries that happened. It is not Hook. because Hook is hurt. So he was replaced by Will Hobbs. And Moxley is there, but Moxley technically is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be Pac, but Pac was hurt. So, Moxley had to step in. We weren't sure. Maybe Marina Shafir would have stepped in,
There
but,
we go. Yeah,
they're like, that would be, we don't want to hurt them too bad. We want to give them a chance. If we have
I
Marina
just
Shafir
want to
in
make
there,
clear for a second before we came on the air. This is another thing I had in my new segment too. Hook got sick last week after the match. He was throwing up after backstage. Everybody asked if he was okay. Fans saw him throwing up backstage.
he threw up in the ring. He threw up in the ring.
Yeah, that's right. It was in the ring, and fans got concerned. He has some sort of illness going on.
Some people tried to say that it was a concussion that made him throw up. But
that's Uncle Dave Meltzer.
That's not guaranteed. It probably was just sick, but to full on puke in the middle of a match is clearly concerning. So I'm glad they told him.
That's why they took him off. I don't think it was the backlash. I think he is sick. I think there's something going around. I know COVID's still out there. I know it lurks in the shadows, obviously, but I know it's still a thing. I don't think he has that.
There's been wrestlers who've wrestled with full-on food poisoning. Could have been anything.
Yeah, could have been that too. It could have been.
I'm glad that
anything. I'll try and follow up for next week's show if I get more information on it. But yeah, they took him off, so it was actually a trio match, correct?
It was a trios match. They had fill-ins. So Moxley, the world champion, filled in for
Pac getting hurt.
And then Will Hobbs filled in for Hook. So he was an honorary member of the Ops today. And Moxley is of course part of the Death Riders. And
so Moxley was so mad after they lost, man. We
have new champions,
building, man.
Which is good because I actually thought that Pac and Yuta and Claudio, I thought they should have lost to Rated FTR. I realized they didn't do that because they were trying to turn FTR.
No, because it would have if that happened. The heel turn on FTR would have looked completely stupid on Cole.
It wouldn't have worked. Yeah,
exactly.
And so, and that's one. I thought they should have won, but I get in hindsight why they didn't do that. But number two, the Death Riders losing the Trios title opens the door to Moxley losing the World title. So I knew that once those Trios titles were gone, we were gonna it's imminent. The end of the Death Riders is imminent. We're gonna see a new champion, which I'm glad to see. Because they're not Moxley's not gonna lose before they lose the titles. He's not gonna be in his group and he's the one without a title, him and Marina. So this opens the door now for him to eventually lose the title. I know fans were happy that Swerve
in July. I'm calling it Will Ospreay will win the title.
You think so?
Fall in Texas, by the way. Not all in fall in Texas. Shout out to the great executive consultant for telling me about that one.
No, it's not fall in. It's all in. Yes, and the AEW is all in on Will Ospreay.
I'm all in on Will Ospreay. I'll put all of my chips on him, but no, it's falling in Texas. Even he said that. He knows I am.
Or maybe,
just like
maybe
how
maybe Hangman. Who knows?
I don't know. It's Will Ospreay. Put all my chips, put all my cards, put all my money I got saved up for SummerSlam on it, ladies and gentlemen. Will Ospreay.
It looks like I forgot the title. It looks like a briefcase. That's what it's looking like.
I agree.
No. Moxley said, "No, I am the world title." You're looking at it. Get used to it. This is me. World title. It's me.
Some people say they might rebrand the title.
Imagine they bring it back. It's a spinner belt. Oh gosh.
Well, look, they're doing it in the E. Athena has one. They just announced a new women's pure champion, I believe.
I'm dizzy. We don't need no more spinning.
So more titles, Sheriff, which is exciting for this company. That's thriving. So yeah.
Riding and thriving. Okay. Anyways, that was the main event. That was AEW Spring BreakThru.
To
be honest, this was a great show.
One of the best damn shows they've had in so long.
I am
man.
gonna
Oh
give
my
it
goodness.
an A+, especially for a specialty show. I have no faults. Well done.
Hold on, I just gotta do
Sadie
this
Mad Dog.
real quick.
Wait, there was no Jericho, so you're not gonna give it an A+.
Hold on,
Right?
I just gotta run this real quick. Congrats to Samoa Joe. I had to do that, as I saw it here on there. Joe. Main event was fire. The whole thing was
Oh,
great.
like
What a
on the
great
cars
show.
when the
The
wheels would
thing
spin.
with Chris Jericho, I can look past that. Okay, this also gets an A+ for me because our CEO is gonna beat Tony Storm at Fall in Texas.
I forgot to
Once again,
mention
Fall
that
in.
they had a bit of a stare off after
They did. We did forget
Mercedes
to mention
won.
that. That was a good stare. I'm telling you, the build is there, and our CEO is going to win the world title and be the main event.
I can't
for
wait
all
for the
pay-per-views going
meltdown
forward
online the
after Fall In.
Mercedes babies are gonna have, because Mercedes has a lot of haters, man. I don't know what's going on. They don't respect the CEO.
And bring it, because I'll defend her all damn day. I'm out there on X and / Twitter, wherever the hell you want to call
Mad
it,
Dog said
defending
he in
her.
the trenches, okay, for the CEO.
She retweeted one of my tweets one time, so I was happy.
That's
I
the
was
thing,
happy.
though. I don't think she's gonna. To be honest, I don't think she's gonna beat Tony.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll put all the money I have saved towards SummerSlam on it. She's beating Tony Storm and Fall in Texas. Absolutely.
With all the belts? With all the belts?
Not all of them. She'll lose TBS to Athena.
Okay.
I said that earlier. At Double or Nothing, she's going to lose that belt. But by then, who knows how many belts she has? But who cares? She'll be world champion of AEW. She'll actually be running the damn company while Tony Khan's trying to figure out how to run this company. I'm wearing the hat of tonight.
Mercedes, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, by the way, I still want to see Britt Baker back. I hope they work it out.
There's a lot of drama. I'm not going into that. I promised Mike I wouldn't, so I'm not going to that. But
it is honestly crazy to me that it got so bad that Tony was like, just go home.
I mean, damn, man, the whole breakup with Adam Cole and the whole this and the whole that.
Every single one.
I agree, Fernando. She should. She's
even the one in the briefcase.
Pillar of the company right now. Backbone to that company.
No, I agree. I think she was the pillar of the women's division too. Is gonna get tired of carrying all those belts, and I like her. Yeah. Anyways,
I agree. So we're at the end of the show. You know what we do at the end of the show, Sheriff. I'm gonna put this up. I don't know if you want me to do it or if you want to do it, but all right,
take it away, man.
I'm going to do the best I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, here at Unpopular Review, we have plenty of shows, wrestling, entertainment. We got everything for everybody here. I'm going to put up the graphic. Okay, so now on Tuesday mornings, we got The Mike Knox Show, hosted by Mike Knox, produced by Mike Knox, written by the Mike Knox, and Mike Knox is an awesome guy. So, shout out to Mike. For doing his show. And don't forget to catch him Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Rated R Review Show. Our lovely executive consultant had the honor and privilege to join us tonight. Him, Big Daddy Cool, and Steam Willie Beeman on Monday nights on the Rated R Review. They review Raw. I think next week the awesome Mike Knox again. He'll be filling in for that. I believe Big Daddy Cool will also be back from WrestleMania to review Raw. I think EC and Steam Beeman will be there. I gotta rerun this there. Will be at the Raw after Mania. The Tuesday nights, we got the NXT Trio. Go watch their show last night. They did their predictions for Stand Deliver this weekend. 10:15 after NXT Tuesday nights. We have the AEW Women and Friends, obviously the show you're watching right now. So tomorrow night's a big night for UPR. We got so much stuff going on. We got a bunch of entertainment stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. Plus, we got the WrestleMania prediction show tomorrow night. That's going to be big. And then we also got our Collision show, which is going to be hosted by the two of us tomorrow night as well. I got to put that back up there. There's a timer on it, by the way. I found this out from Katie the other night when I was running Collision. Anyway, like I said, the Saturday you usually have Z twice. You got DZ is Silent and Vic on SmackDown. Not sure if they're going to be on this weekend with Mania and all. Not sure who's going to be doing that. We'll find that out. I know that's 12 p.m. on Saturday. And you can catch us usually, Z and I, on the Collision Review on Saturdays. But make sure you catch the Sheriff and I tomorrow night for the Collision Spring BreakThru review, by the way, which they just announced. Our CEO, Sheriff, is going to be on tomorrow night's Collision. So we get more of Mercedes. Very excited about that. So we got some entertainment stuff here too. I want to throw this in. Daredevil Review Show is actually on Tuesdays, but tonight they had their show. Please go check out their episode. We believe it was episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. We got movie reviews on Tuesdays by the Federation. Those guys are awesome, by the way. Go check them out. No movies next 2 weeks. And then they'll be back at it. So make sure you check the previous movies they have out. And then you got tonight, every Wednesday, you got the challenge. That's Cap Shea Sawyer, and that's the Mike Knox again. On I think now Sundays, I think Mike was telling me that you got the Mill and Blaze show. I believe they're reviewing Power Book Raising Cain. I'm going to bring this back up here one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I believe now on Sundays, and then on Thursdays, and this one's big because I spoke to Freckles last night. I DM'd him after and started talking. They're going to be doing a Marvel draft this week. The Wolfpack's going to be doing some sort of Marvel draft, so make sure you check that out. 8:30 tomorrow night, I believe, on the Unpopular Review Entertainment channel. And the other channel, of course, is the Unpopular Review Wrestling channel. That's where you're watching us right now if you're watching us on YouTube. And that's all of what UPR has to offer. And we also have a Patreon. I don't have it up here because I can't find it right now. But we also have a Patreon. So make sure you go subscribe to that.
That's not all UPR has to offer. You didn't mention the UPR OnlyFans. Anyway,
that's not my job. That's above my pay grade. Pump that up with EC. Okay.
More Monet, no problem. It's going in the HR report.
I agree. I can't review tomorrow night. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
All over the place.
Tony Storm back on commentary, by the way.
Mike Knox. He's producing Mike Knox, starred by Mike Knox. Mike is liking.
Mike made our banner tonight, so shout out to him for doing this on the fly for us. I will bring this one up for us one more time.
You know that video of Drake? Breathe.
Hey man, I'm just excited to be here. So, but yeah, there's a lot going on. Unpopular Review. So
thank you, Mad Dog, for holding it down in the absence of our cactus.
Thank you for having me on. There she is. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen,
she's here in spirit. Trust me. When I was backstage, she was playing around with all the buttons. I'm telling you. Ghost of Cactus Katie. Oh God, I think I found that wasp. So I'm gonna get off here, ladies and gentlemen, and go kill this wasp. Where's that?
Oh yeah, he's got a wasp problem, guys.
That's right. That's right. So,
anyways, thank you guys.
You can end the show while I go find this damn thing because he's back and I don't have the fly swatter. And actually,
I understand. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, guys. So
thanks everybody. Join tomorrow night. I gotta go find this freaking thing. I think he got in the living room here. So where'd you go?
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. All Elite Women and Friends.
I swear to God, I will catch this thing. It's the last thing I do, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got a friend over there that he doesn't want his friend. He said his friend is not elite. So he's trying to get rid of his little wasp friend. Those wasps don't play. Yeah. My university had a wasp problem.
It's flying around here somewhere. I'm gonna definitely catch him.
What the heck is this?
Oh, I thought he was dead. I'll tell you that, Sheriff. I thought I thought this bug was dead, but no, he just has to come back to haunt me. Well, anyway.
Anyways, we're signing off.
Anyway, but yes, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry it's had to end like this, but like I said, I've been trying to catch this bug for about 3.5 hours now. So yeah. I don't know where he went. He was just over here, right by my action figure. So
here I am over here trying to I'm trying to find the outro. I don't see where it's at. Oh, here it is. I think. Okay. Bye.